Alright, the first thing to do is try to figure out some basic mastery pages, which all got reset. Look at all the masteries. The offensive tree is mostly the same from before. Let me try to go off of my rune pages. Alright. AP caster, we'll start with that. Start with an AP page. AP will want ignite. Attack speed. Oh, they changed that. Okay, that used to be attack damage, now it's attack speed. And CDR is now in the front rank. Wow, that's a lot different. Okay, that's certainly different. Damage to turrets. Okay. I want AP per level. It's not enough points here, though. 12 points in offense. What else would an AP want? They wouldn't want attack speed. Attack damage per level is probably more useful than the other stuff. Oh, here. To increase damage dealt. Okay, Spellblade. Some people will want Spellblade, but most APs won't. Take the AP there. Okay. This is the 21. So this is now 21 points. This is now the 21 points in offense for an AP caster. That's a bit odd the way that that goes. Kind of random that Havoc's over here. It's like you don't want some of this stuff. It's a bit of a random starting tree. Anyway, over here, let's see. The movement speed's now... Oh, but they changed this. This is only movement speed out of combat. That's much less useful than it was before. AP there. That's not useful for an AP. Summoner spell cooldown, that could be useful. How much is that total? 10%? That's not bad, actually. That's probably better than extra mana. Probably is better than extra mana on most champions. Probably do want that. It's pretty good. Let's see, what else is this? That's not that useful. Well, you know, it depends on the champ you're building. Wow, 15%. Depends on the champion. I'm not sure. Yeah, there are some real options here, though. Definitely some real options here as far as what to do there. Well, we'll just do a standard drop 1 point into mana for now. And then there's the increased buff duration. Okay, but yeah, there's some real options here. If you're going to use a lot of actives, if you're playing a champ that's heavily reliant on Deathfire Grasp, like if you're playing Evelyn, then you would definitely want 2 points in that. Get the cooldown reduced. Still start with this. That's a starting page. Use that one page. Okay. So there's an AP page. Let's look then at doing a standard AD page. Standard AD page. Okay. Probably have either exhaust or ignite. So put 1 point there. You want this. Want the attack speed. You don't really want any of this stuff. I guess if you're playing a split pusher, you might want that, but I don't expect that to see much use. Actually, obviously want attack damage per level. What the? Just froze. Client just froze up. Okay. Yeah, obviously want attack damage per level and armor pen. Armor pen's obvious. And let's see. Increased damage dealt. Probably want that. Obviously you want extra attack. They shifted the attack damage from up here at the top of the tree down here. Because flat attack damage was good on everyone. Even on APs, you usually wanted flat attack damage. Just so useful. Champions that build crit chance will want this. Will want lethality. Champions that don't build crit chance probably won't want this. Obviously you need the armor pen. Oh, that's pretty good. Take a point out of that attack speed and put it in here. Yeah, most ADs will do something with crit chance. But this can be skipped over here. This can definitely be skipped. Okay. I'll do an AD defense page. Oh, okay. They changed the armor and MR. They put the armor and MR in the second level, which was also a major change from before, because before everybody just wanted armor and MR. It's just so useful. Flat armor, flat MR. Let's see. This would be useful if you wanted cleanse on an AD, which a lot of ADs will take, by the way. But I'm just trying to do some standard pages. Yeah, they also moved, they also changed unyielding, so it wasn't just reduce all damage by 1, it's only damage from champions, so that's a big change too. Before, with this, the tough skin and the unyielding, if you put these two together, you could basically ignore damage from minions, because you just didn't take any damage from minions, so they changed that. That was useful in a lot of laning matchups, where people could just tank the minions forever. Alright, so grab the health per level, and the veteran scars. Or, wait, no, oh, now you can't, yeah, now you can't get veteran scars without more points in the defensive tree, huh. Not sure how useful that really is at this point. Extra health regen, that's not that useful. 21. Okay, you can still get veteran scars, okay. Alright, this is just like a standard page. Very standard, armor, MR. Oh, you get a little bit more flat armor and MR. Okay, a little bit more. Alright, so this is just AD defense. And then let's set up an AD utility, which is the same 21 points in offense. But instead of putting in the defensive tree, put in utility. Movement speed. I just don't think that's that useful. I mean, for one thing, it's only 2%. It takes 3% to get 2% movement speed, and it doesn't even count when you're in combat. Like, as soon as you take a point of damage, you lose that. So, I just don't think that that's that useful, to be honest. Yeah, the summoner spell cooldown is quite good. So is the active cooldown. You're going to see a lot more people putting 9 in utility, because 9 in defense is not as good as it used to be, and 9 in utility is quite good, actually. Quite good. These two are both quite good. In fact, I'm almost somewhat tempted to just put 2 in, put 2 in each of these. I don't know, I mean, again, if you're not using active items, it's not that useful. I don't know. We'll just do this for the moment. Get the runic affinity. I don't think the flat mana is that useful. Yeah, that's somewhat weaker. This isn't even that great either. This is not that great either, but the other options are, like this, I just don't value that highly right now. Yes. Yes, it will be. Yeah, I am getting set up a little bit early so that I can figure out some of this stuff before I get started tonight at the usual time. I need a little time to get everything set up. Just double check to make sure that the stream's running the way it should be. But I need to set up a lot of this stuff and make sure I'm not just totally clueless going into stuff. Okay. Weird double effect there. Okay, so that'll get us some basic pages. Now we need some stuff that emphasizes defensive tree. Let's do a, let's see, AD defense. Let's do, what do I want to call this page? Go with my other page. Armor, pen, tank. Then I'll need a magic pen tank as well. Alright, pretty much everyone takes ignite, so let's see. Yeah, someone who's geared towards AD. And yeah, there's the armor pen. Wait, whoops, that's 1 point too many. Yeah. Take that out of there. Okay, so now we want, let's see, 21 defense. One of the things is this first level of the defensive tree is just pretty weak, in all honesty. The health per level is clearly the best thing in the first level, but like, health regen for 5, I mean, that's not bad, but like, you don't even get that. It's based on how much health you're missing. I don't know, I just don't think that this is that great. It grants up to +6 health regen. Like, even +6 for 5, that's not really very high at all. That's pretty low. It's kind of a garbage stat, to be honest. This is useful if you're jungling, not so useful otherwise. Reduce damage taken from turrets. That's kind of interesting. That might be useful for some characters, pure tanks. Anyway, flat armor is always good. I don't know if this is even so great anymore, since it only applies to damage from champions. I mean, it's probably more useful to take. This, though, is really good. Reduce the effectiveness of slows. You would definitely want that. I'm just not sure this is that great. Oh, I see. But if you have... Okay. If you have these two, then you can put a point in. Block. I see. Let's see. Tenacious. Ooh, wow. This is really good, too. Reduces the duration of crowd control effects. Yeah, this is good. This is quite good. This is actually not that useful because it's bonus armor and MR. It's not armor and MR. It's bonus armor and MR. So that's actually not that solid. Uh, Most champions get like around 70 to 80 armor at level 18. So if you built 100 armor, what is that? 3 points. Let me just check this out. Yeah, you put 3 points in to get 5% bonus armor. Like if you built 100 armor, you'd get 5 armor from that. That's really not that good. That I don't really. I've never liked Good Hands. Good Hands used to be in the utility tree. I never really liked it that much. Damage taken from critical strikes. Hard to say how useful that is. I'm not sure. This is pretty much garbage too. 1 armor and 1 MR for each nearby enemy champion. I don't really like any of these that much. I'm not a huge. This one might be okay. I'm not a big fan of this though. I mean, really? You're gonna put up? I mean, I guess it's only a 1 point skill, but I mean, you can get up to 5 armor and 5 MR. I mean, that's nothing late game. I guess in a level 1 fight that wouldn't be bad, but other than outside of that, I don't see it being that useful. And yeah, I don't see that being too good. Yeah, I don't really like any of those that much. Anyway, this is quite good. This is the tenacity. This is maximum health. Yeah, I'd love to put more points in Juggernaut. Where would I take points out though? Armor, MR, I wouldn't want that. The defensive tree is definitely weaker than it was before. Definitely weaker. Yeah, this reduces all crowd control effects by 15%. This one just does slows. And this one just reduces all damage taken. Yeah, not bad. How much does 4 points in Juggernaut? 4% extra health? I think I'd still rather have the slow reduction than a little bit extra health. Yeah, these points down here are pretty good. If you pretty much still want unyielding because block is very strong, reduces all basic attack damage by 3. That's really good in the early game. Really good early game. Becomes less useful as the game goes on. But at the start of the game, when champions hit for about 60 damage, um, these two together would take out 5 of that, and that's a very big reduction. Like, very, very big reduction if you have that and the other side doesn't. Anyway, this is outstanding. This Tenacious reduces all crowd control effects by 15% and stacks with Tenacity. This is the shining light of the defensive tree. Like, this is the skill you want in the defensive tree. You know, I really probably should have been recording this to turn it into a podcast, but I'm still figuring this out myself. Probably should have recorded this. Oh well. I can go back and check out the recording and maybe turn this into a video later because it does record anytime I stream it does record what I'm doing. Anyway though, yeah, this feels like this is definitely what you want in the defensive tree. Alright, so that's Armor Pen. Let's do the same thing now for Magic Pen. Once again, 921, but geared towards offense instead of defense. I'll have to take a point out of that. AP per level. Magic Pen. They nerfed these two. These used to be 10%. Now they're 8%. Armor and Magic Pen are one of the most important stats to get from Masteries and Runes because they're very difficult to itemize in-game. There are only a few items that give Armor Pen and Magic Pen, so... They nerfed the Magic Pen on Runes as well. I noticed that in the patch notes. They had not mentioned that previously, but the patch notes said that Armor Penetration Runes were nerfed as well. I don't think that's going to change from what people are running that much because their Armor Penetration and Magic Penetration is definitely the best thing to put on the Reds. You know, the other thing I could do is I could take 1 point out of these and then put it in Juggernaut. What would that take that down to? 3.5? I don't know. Have to play around with that. Anyway, though, yeah, I like some of the stuff that they added here. This Tenacious is really good. Like, really, really strong. I like this Relentless, too. That's very useful for any kind of tanky champion. So any kind of crowd control reduction is always strong in League of Legends. Okay. So now we've got defensive tree, we've got offensive tree. Let's look then at support. I'll probably need 2 support rune pages, depending on what I want to emphasize. I'll probably need an offensive support page and a defensive support page. I will probably run a defensive support page more often, but let's just get one of each. Okay, so that would mean 29 utility, 21 utility and 9 offense, so let's go ahead and do this. Improved exhaust, of course, over here. Oh, CDR. Yeah, actually, can I still get this? No. Alright, yeah, support's on CDR. Supports almost always deal magic damage and not physical damage. Not all are like this. There's some that are physical, but most of them are magic damage based, so... for a general purpose room page, we'll use this. Okay, now utility tree. Obviously we want this. The movement speed I don't value that much. Movement speed, okay, so this is a big change with the whole item rework. Movement speed has been de-emphasized heavily. You no longer need to start boots 3 pots. In fact, starting with like a Doran's Blade is very viable right now. Very, very much viable. Doran's Blade is actually really good right now. Doran's Ring a little bit less so. Doran's Blade is excellent. So what they did was they basically were tired of everyone starting boots 3 pots, so they basically nerfed the boots. All base movement speed went up. The amount of movement speed you get from boots went down drastically. So movement speed has been nerfed heavily. This mastery's been nerfed heavily. Movement speed way, way down. And now if you want extra bonus movement speed, look how far you have to go. The 21 points into the utility tree to get that movement speed boost. So anyway, let's see. Supports went this. Increased vision range from wards. Definitely want that. Definitely want decreased summoner spell cooldowns. The mana's not that big. They might want this. Maybe. Supports, actually, they probably do want this too. Because supports are going to be using a lot of activative items. Let's see. Let's get what we need first. We need the Greed Mastery. That's very necessary for supports. The Biscuit Mastery may or may not want. It's only 1 point. You generally do want this. This was the reward, the in-game reward that they gave Total Halibut in his YouTube channel for getting 10,000 summoner referrals. There's probably enough points to grab this, because this allows you to take a ward. Note that this is kind of a not very good ward, because it only lasts for 60 seconds. Not so great, but for 1 point as a support, you probably still want it. The Pickpocket Mastery, pretty nice. Extra damage for harassing. Increased experience, strength of spirit. Hardly anyone took this in season 2. I don't see people taking this in season 3 either. It's just too far down in the utility tree. The utility tree is basically the support tree. I mean, someone might want to do it, but most of the stuff in here is still very heavily support oriented. Like, I mean, this is not bad, but you just have to go so deep in the tree to get it. Anyway, want the flat CDR, and if you're going this far into the tree, you might as well grab the movement speed. I mean, this doesn't synergize that great with supports, but if you're going that far into the utility tree, you might as well pick it up. Like, Strength of Spirit's not really going to help support. Strength of Spirit's good on some champs, but I'm not sure I see people putting 12 points into utility just to get it. This is the one thing I wonder about, though, whether it's better to put the points in the summoner spell cooldown or the active item cooldown. I'm not sure which is better at this point. I guess it really depends on what you're building on each champ, because 15% cooldown on active items is a pretty big deal, but 10% cooldown on summoner spells is big too, especially because the flash cooldown, guys, got nerfed for about the 8th time. They reduced they increased flash's cooldown yet again, so we'll see. I'm not sure. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. I don't know. I honestly don't know, but while we're testing, let's get the biscuit to test, first of all. I agree that this is not as great as it might look like. What is this? This is like a free potion. Actually, no, I mean, a health potion's 150. Actually, this thing's pretty crummy, to be perfectly honest. It's like a really crummy health potion and a really crummy ward. I don't know. Let's test it out and find out. And can change afterwards. Can always change afterwards if I'm not impressed by them. Have to at least see what the biscuit does first. Alright, so extra health, let's see here. This is the page I'll probably run more often, so I'll skew it towards being a support and get the flat armor. There's usually not that much magic damage in bottom lanes, because it's usually AD and support, so you want to stack armor heavily, so that's why I do that. Anyway, go ahead and just grab the same stuff. For now, we'll go ahead and test it out later. As I said, this supports generally don't take buffs, so that's not that useful. Let's see, what did I do? Here and here, this. Okay. I think the utility tree is a little bit stronger than it was before. I think the utility tree is a little bit stronger. I think the defensive tree is a little bit weaker, with the exception of this. I think the offensive tree is about the same as it was before. Roughly the same. I don't think there's too much change. Okay, now we gotta set up a jungle page, taking note of the tough skin. And again, these are just general purpose pages. I can always custom the page to each game. So let's see, jungle. What kind of jungle do I need? I probably need I need an AD. I need like an AD jungle page. I might need an AP jungle. I need like a magic pen. Let's start with armor pen jungle first. For actually, yeah. The problem is I really need 3 jungle pages, unfortunately, for general purpose. This will be for someone like Nocturne or Hecarim, who actually. This is kind of nice though. Yeah, any jungler most junglers want attack speed. So this is kind of nice actually. Any jungler can then take attack speed. You could go attack speed, and then even if you're an AP jungler, you could then grab ability power. Like if you're gonna play Udyr, you would probably rather have the ability power if you're doing Phoenix jungle, or if you're gonna jungle like Diana, you'd want to get the attack speed. Oh well, then basic attacks deal bonus damage to minions and monsters. Actually, you want this too if you're jungling. So I don't even know what you'd want. Then again, actually, but this, it might be better to take like 12. What is it? Might be better to take let's see, 6, and then it might be better to put like 12 points in offense or something. Let's try to figure this out, because I feel like you'd want the attack speed and you'd want this too, even if you wanted the armor pen. They just got frozen again. Come on. Hello. It's like you definitely would want armor pen if you're an armor like a AD jungler. Like you definitely want all this. Then how much could you get in the defensive tree? Obviously you'd want this. You'd want points in this. Obviously you'd want the armor. Bladed armor. Then what else would you need? Like this is somewhat less useful. This is actually not that useful if you're jungling. I would probably skip that. I'd still want this. Let's see what else. Definitely still want this. I don't think that the rest of this is that crucial. Yeah, I don't think I need 20. Not sure I would still need maybe 11, 19. I'm kind of liking this page, even though it's a bit random. I kind of like this. Maximum health, the tenacity, all the tenacity stuff. Veteran scars, the bladed armor. Yeah, I kind of like this page, to be perfectly honest. I mean, it's a little weird. Reinforced armor, which one's that? 10% less. I don't know. See, I'm still trying to figure out how useful that is. It could be. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure. It's hard to say. Um, this was the one I wasn't too sure about, like how good this would be, because I could see this being really good against, you know, an AD that's building crit, but by the same token, early in the game this is going to be basically useless. It's not going to do anything early in the game whatsoever. I mean, the nice thing is it's only 1 point as a skill. Um, yeah, I'm going to leave this alone for now, and then look to go back and revise this later as needed. Okay, sweet. They actually give you more mastery pages now. It used to limit you to like however many rune pages you had, but now they're not doing that. Okay, great. Now I can do an AD jungle. Let's do wait, how did I put that? Armor pen. Let's do a magic pen jungle. Then I'll need a utility jungle as well. So once again, uh, let's get the attack speed. Pretty much there's almost no junglers that don't want attack speed. I guess like Fiddlesticks wouldn't want it, but that's really just about it. Only now we'll take the AP and we'll take the magic pen. And then over here I'll run similar stuff as before. Got the extra armor. What did I have? Veteran scars. And again, a lot of this is personal too. People like different things. I mean, there's not like one right way to do a mastery page. Some things are clearly stronger than others, but a lot of it's personal choice too. As I said, I never liked good hands very much, but some people really liked that before. Okay, so this is similar. Now, alright, utility jungle. Let's go ahead and see just how many points we'd want in this page. Oops, actually, I have not been... Wait, hold on. Need to go back in. Uh, I really should put a point in Smite to get the extra gold. Yeah, that's kind of silly not to have that. Let's take a point out of Juggernaut and put it there. There's no reason not to take the bonus gold. if you're going to be running a jungler, because you're going to be running smite, obviously. Okay. All right, let's see just how many of these points I actually want. I would actually want this, the movement speed out of combat, if I'm jungling, because I'm going to be running between camps, and I would definitely want that. So I would want that. Let's see. Mana regen, the buff duration. What would I really want here? Would I want the mana regen? Still trying to figure this out. I don't know. I don't have a strong feeling about any of these on a utility jungler. In fact, I'm not sure I really want a utility jungle page at all. I'm not seeing a huge advantage to any of this stuff. The cooldown to summoner spells, I mean, I guess you'd get smite up faster, but I don't think it's that useful to have smite up in 60 seconds as opposed to like 70 seconds. I don't think it's that useful. The buff duration obviously is very nice on junglers, but that's about it. Not seeing too much more in this tree I'd really want. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not seeing the need for this page, so okay. I mean, I'll come back to that. I guess I'll come back to that. No. I guess I should try to put something over there. Getting the extra gold. Yeah, well, maybe, but that's a lot of points. I mean, that's a lot of points. Oh, really? Good point. It's a lot of points in the utility tree. I mean, you pretty much have to start Machete on a jungler now, because everything for a jungler builds out of it. Yeah, and the passive gold is not bad on a jungler either. Alright, well, let's take a stab at doing that. Put in the summer spell, because there's not... I don't really see too much else. What would I rather have, mana regen or mana per level? Probably mana regen, to be honest. Actually, we'll just put it in improve recall. Why not? That would eat up 15 points. Worth a shot trying. Kind of interesting. Alright, anyway, so then we need smite. Tough skin. Gotta have a point in something here. The armor. Weighted armor. How many points would I have? 15? Okay. Probably no. Let's see, what else could I put them in? Something like this, maybe? If I'm gonna put the... It'd make more sense, too. If I'm gonna put 3 points in this, I might as well put 4 points in it and grab Veteran Scars. Something like this. I could see this being an okay page on somebody. Alright, and then this one I just leave blank. I always leave the last page blank so I can adjust. So if I'm on the screen and I want to do a custom page for that game, I can just grab blank. Anyway, so those are just some thoughts on what's going on. I don't obviously know what's best either because I haven't had a chance to test it. Okay. Let's create a custom game and just get in game and check out what all this stuff looks like.